Well, hello, and welcome to this Friday devotional. The other guys have been going on location for devotionals lately. Pastor Brian was outside. Pastor Mike found this amazing creek to do his yesterday. So I thought I would go on location in a place that we all love, and you can get a little glimpse of kind of the chairs behind me that are being set up. We have about actually it looks like the whole room is set up now. So we're getting ready, Lord willing, to be able to gather again in the next few weeks. And I'm excited about it. And so I'm excited to do this devotional from this space and looking forward to being able to regather with a lot of you in, Lord willing, in the coming weeks. So also this devotional, the part of the gospel primer we're talking about is talking about God's blessing to us and the inheritance we have from God, which is each other. A big part of our inheritance, a big part of the blessing that God gives us and promises us is each other, the church. And so listen, I'll continue in reason number 12 in a gospel primer. Also, when God saved us, he made us members of his household, and he gave us as gifts to one another. All right, so Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19 says, So then you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are fellow citizens with the saints and are of God's household. And so we are a part of the same family. We are members of God's household. In Ephesians 2 and 3, it talks about how we are built together into God's dwelling place. In multiple places, Romans and Corinthians, it talks about how we are one body. And so God unites us together as his people, and how he gives us to one another as gifts. Ephesians 1:18, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened so that you will know what are the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. So I think what he's saying there is a couple things. One is that we come to know the riches of his inheritance with the saints, with God's people, and we'll see that a little bit later in Ephesians 3. But also I think he's saying part of our inheritance is in the saints, and we understand the riches that God has given us as we love each other and benefit from each other for all of eternity. Now, each brother and sister is a portion of my gospel inheritance from God, and I am a portion of their inheritance as well. We are significant players in each other's gospel narrative, and it is in relationship with one another that we experience the fullness of God in Christ. It is in relationship with one another that we experience the fullness of God in Christ. So Ephesians 3 says, Paul prays that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ, that you may be filled up to all the fullness of God. So he wants us to know the fullness, the height, the depth, the length of the love of Christ, and we come to know that, he says, with all the saints. And so one of the things is we need each other, and we need to be in each other's lives and in each other's prayers, and we need to not draw back from each other when we have relational difficulties, because it is through all of that that we grow in our knowledge of the love of Christ. Last paragraph. Hence, the more I comprehend the full scope of the gospel, the more I value the church for which Christ died. The more I value the role that I play in the lives of my fellow Christians, and the more I appreciate the role that they must be allowed to play in mine. Okay, so the more we get the gospel, the more we understand the treasure that is the church, which is the people of God, which is the people, our brothers and sisters in Christ. And the more I want to play a role in your life, and the more you'll want to play a role in other Christians' lives. So let's do what we can right now to play that role. Let's be praying for each other, church. Let's be loving each other, church. Let's be calling each other. Let's be sending each other encouraging notes as possible. Let's serve each other in all the ways that we need to serve each other. And let's be praying diligently that God will make a way for us to spend more and more time in each other's presence in the coming days and weeks. Praying for you. I love you, and looking forward to seeing you soon. God bless you guys.